Hi guys, this is Hannah and thank you for tuning in for another video. Today what we will be discussing is the payroll tax deferral that Trump always wanted, was really after, that went into effect yesterday, September 1st. Now it's a little complicated, so I thought we might as well kind of break it down to how to go about it from an employer perspective, what it actually means for the long term. And if you think this is something that's something you may be interested in. So let's get started. The payroll tax deferral was signed by executive order by President Trump early August, basically in order to put a little more extra money into people's pockets. What it does is puts a temporary suspension of the employees' 6.2% of their Social Security withholding that we all otherwise pay. This goes into effect from September 1st to the end of the year, December 31, 2020. Now, generally the companies do have a choice to participate in this program, and the employers, if they do decide to participate, are looking to give employees the benefit of opting out, of not participating in this deferral. On the other hand, federal government did announce just today that it will start the deferral on all of its employees. And keep in mind, federal government for the US is the largest employer, has about 1.3 million of employees on payroll. And starting the middle of September 15th, it will start deferring the Social Security withholdings for all of its employees. That being said, the corporates are kind of on the very, they're not sure whether they want to do it or not. It is going to be dependent on you as an employer, or from an employee standpoint, depends if the employer wants to participate in it. And if they do, a lot of the corporates do have, I'm hearing a lot of them do want to give their employees the option to opt out, which unlike federal, seems like it's happening across the board. Now, this is the good thing. For the short period of time, the last, from September to the end of the year, seems like everybody who decides to do it gets a pay holiday, or basically a little more of an increase in their paycheck at the end of the day, what they take home, because they are not paying that 6.2%. That being said, please trend with caution, because come January 1st, you will be getting deducted twice the amount of what the normal withholding would be. Now, that is because the government wants the companies to pay up all that has been withheld or should have been due as of April. So even though you will right now see a decent increase in your take-home pay, you will see a big stride down, or a larger chunk decreased come January 1st for the period of that 4 months till that withholding has come at part of what it should have been. So keep that in mind. It though it does, let me get this detail in there, that it does apply to majority of the people who make below $4,000 bi-weekly. So for example, if you are a $50,000 salary employed, you will generally see an increase of $119 in your bi-weekly paycheck, totaling at about $1,073 over the entire pay period, assuming it's done from the start to the finish. Now, I do know, and we do realize, especially under current circumstances, there are a lot of people who live paycheck to paycheck and may be struggling, and this extra $119 per paycheck goes a long way. But at the end of the day, do keep in mind, come January, you will be deducting this $119 regular and then another portion of another $119 to make up for all this money that was not otherwise deducted from your paycheck. So as long as you're mentally prepared for that, or you think, you know what, right now it's harder times, you got to do what you got to do, get that extra money going. In few months, things will be better. Good for you. Go ahead and do it. But keep in mind, come January, you better be prepared for that extra chunk going out of your paycheck and be either ready to adjust it, either in the lifestyle, or hopefully you're making, your job. If you're part-time, you're back to full-time, or you have a better position, or generally the economy is in a better state, and so are you. So that extra chunk that is being deducted, the extra 6.2, is not going to hurt your bottom line. That being said, April 30th would be the deadline for the employers to collect all the 6.2% of the deferral from this September to the December and pay to the government, or else they are looking at penalties and interest. And that is the biggest question that probably is looming on top of a lot of employers who don't want to get into that headache. So I don't blame them, because the payroll has to be adjusted. That system needs to be able to stop the payment right now, start it back in January, and double the time for the 6.2 to kick in. So definitely some software changes need to be made very quickly. So I'm not sure how many private corporate employers will end up doing it, but if yours does, I do also see that a lot of them will be giving their employees an option of opting out for this short-term gain, in case you think you don't want to bother with it. That being said, ultimately the employers will decide it for you. Federal government is doing it for all their employees at this point, from what we hear today. So that being said, these are crucial times. Things are still not moving when it comes to the stimulus. There is no bipartisan support coming anywhere. Hopefully it'll be sooner than later. There is a divide between Democrats and Republicans to come on the same footing for the greater good of the people, I guess, right now. But politics is taking the better of the stand, I guess. I will update if I see anything that is worth notifying you guys. Other than that, things are kind of stalling. So we'll see how that all works out. In the end, as usual, if you've been following, I do like to end my videos on a positive quote. I did not find the author, but here it is. When everything seems to be going against you, remember that the airplane takes off against the wind, not with it. And with that, you guys have a good Tuesday, and I shall see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.